We're back. Fingers crossed. All is good in the world. Apologies for that little break that we did have to have. Little gremlins were just playing up there in the system, but hopefully we've got it sorted. However, the team are monitoring it. They're keeping an eye on it just to make sure nothing happens again. So we are back now. We had a look at our brand new ribbon thread and launch dies with myself and Debbie. What we want to do is, before we go back across to Debbie, we want to have a look at something that actually launched last week. And that's something that's all about, well, ideas and inspiration. And it's Crafters Inspiration. This one is issue number 3, and this is with our brand new global Crafters Inspiration magazine. Now, what does that mean? It means it launches across the globe at the exact same time. So you guys stateside don't have to wait and don't have to then catch up with our issue here in the UK that's up to date. It all launches at the same time. Crafters Inspiration, issue number 3, $12.99 here in the UK, or $19.95. His platinum price as well is your £10.39 or $15.96. Now, I can talk till the cows come home about this magazine, but do you know what? For someone else that absolutely adores the magazine, that you'll tend to see features throughout the magazine when it comes to ideas, inspirations, step-by-steps and tutorials. She's actually going to show you what's in the box itself, because it's a sturdy box that you get it in, isn't it, Debbie?
Absolutely, and I've been a massive fan of our magazines for many a year, well before I started working for the company. What I love about it now is that we've brought it into that global market where it literally is launched everywhere at the same time. No one's waiting, no one's behind, all together at the same time. And this has got an amalgamation of 2 crafts, paper craft as well as soft craft in this, which for me is just absolutely fabulous. Now, you'll have heard Sarah talk about this. We're not a magazine company. We don't make magazines regularly, weekly, like you get on the shelves. What you do get, though, with ours is bang on, honestly, Crafters Inspiration. It's exactly what it says on the tin. It is all thriller, no filler.
Always need to watch that one.
I always have to watch what I'm saying with that, because it literally is jam-packed full. And this time we've got 68 different projects in here for you to copy and emulate to your heart's content.
Absolutely.
What our magazines, though, are fabulous. Now, I don't know if you've been out there, Craig. I used to buy the craft magazines. I'm a little bit more careful where I spend my money now, because some of them aren't always tip-top quality on what you're getting. Just saying. What you can be assured with us is it's the same quality that you get when we do launches, and we'll go back to the launch in a moment, but it is absolutely fabulous. You get a craft kit in here that for me is just makes this stand out. I'm going to open it up and show you exactly what you're getting in this craft kit. Now, we launched quite recently a Sarah signature range called Enchanted Dreams.
We did.
This is something exclusive to that set that you may have. It is not the same, it's a different design, but you've got a decorative border trio in there. You've got a set of fabulous stamps in here as well, and I'll just turn that over so you can see these beautiful stamps, which are just absolutely fabulous. You've got your lovely spring-like stamps in there, which are just fabulous. And we've even included in here a stencil, and this is a fabulous stencil, a gorgeous butterfly stencil, which means that you can do lots of things with that, from inks to texture paste, glitter paste, all those kind of things that you can run through there as well. But that's not all in your craft kit, and this comes in this side of the magazine. On the left-hand side, you get this lovely array of die-cut toppers, so you simply just pop those out. You can see that pops out there, and then beautiful papers. Now, once they've gone, you're probably thinking, what am I going to do with that then? How am I going to recreate that?
How?
Well, inside here is a little bit of a download where you can print your papers over and over and over again. And I'll just move, because I want you
Not over and over again, really?
Over and over and over again.
Wow.
Forever and a day, you can keep printing those out. Now, our magazines, literally, Craig, are just jam-packed full. You've even done a little section in here this time, haven't you?
I believe so.
You have, yes. I'm sure I've seen you in there, Craig. I'm pretty sure I've seen you in there.
If it's not this one, it might be a future one. But
honestly, so it talks about your craft kit, talks about that download, and then you've got literally jam-packed full all of this content. You've got templates in here. You've got, I mean, look, some of our recent launches, the Tower of Trees, just absolutely fabulous. We've got a little section in there where you can take a break. Lots of our things that we've recently launched, where we've got our fabulous Leanne giving you lots of tips. I've done a little section in here with our positive thoughts. don't know why they put that wine bottle there. I mean,
Why would they do that? Why would they do that? I don't know.
You know why I love me pop-up cubes? Well, you could be making things like the triple pop-up cube, and this is here as it is, flesh. And that's one of the things that I'll talk you through, my little ways that you can use.
I've never seen something like that before, Debbie.
Have you never done one?
Never.
Oh, it's just, honestly, I love the cubes, so I just had a little play and had a play around.
You'd be good on the game show, The Cube.
The Cube. Oh no, I'd be terrible on that. Honestly, I'd be terrible on that. But lots and lots of lovely things in here. I'm sure this is, yeah, I thought it was you, Greg.
That is this one, isn't it? Yeah.
It is this one where you've got lovely ideas and what you can do, and Craig, being obviously a masculine man, showing you how you can make those masculine
Well, you know.
You are indeed, my darling, and you are one of the most talented men I know. Absolutely fabulous. But lots and lots of different... This is what we're talking about, Craig. Not just papercraft.
No.
We're talking soft crafts. Sally Smith and Trisha Boyd, two fabulous leading ladies in their field, showing you how you can use lots of different things with our Gemini patchwork hexagon dies. So when we talk about global, we're also talking about a mixture of different things as well. So lots and lots of different things in here. Look at me, I'm going through Ask the Experts. They didn't come to me. Did they come to you, Greg?
No, they didn't.
They went to the top two.
I don't blame them.
What more can you, I was going to say, of the two knowledgeable ladies?
You guys see me enough on here. The last thing you want is to open your magazine and see my face there again.
We've got a lovely little section on the crafty world as well. Get in touch, you could be coming along in there, and tells you about coming along and joining us on our craft along shows as well. So it literally is jam-packed full, lots and lots of different things in here, projects that you can make. Do you want to see a few of those projects?
Yes, let's do that.
So let's take a look. Some of our fabulous design team using that craft kit project, plus that trio of borders. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful, from the papers to the stamps to the border and the stencil. That's had everything thrown at that one, but showing you the kind of fabulous makes that you can create with it. And honestly, Craig, it's just a fabulous magazine full of top tips, full of inspiration, lots of different ways that you can use that craft kit as well, which I just think is phenomenal. I love that one, using the borders and the stencil. We talked about using pastes.
I mean, look at that.
There, using pastes in there as well. Lots of wonderful ideas, projects that you can be copying, or just simply getting your creative juices flowing and having a play yourself with the fabulous magazine that is our Crafters Inspiration.
Absolutely. And, you know, with everything that you've just said there a moment ago, Debbie's all spot on as well. For me as well, not as someone that works at Crafters Companion, but as a crafter as well, I straight away know that there's no way that we make a profit on this. Absolutely not. But what Sarah's always said in the past, when it comes to our Crafters Inspiration magazine, the reason that she's so keen to put all of these additional elements in there is, as Debbie says, we're not a magazine company. We're just about putting the ideas and inspirations, putting the products in there. So if you've never tried Crafters Companion products before, get this magazine, treat yourself, and you're going to see how much and why so many of you at home absolutely adore our products. And then you're going to come back, you're going to try other collections, other dies, other stamps. We're giving you a little taster within this magazine as well. All of that is contained in there. What I also love about it is it's not just myself and Debbie and Leanne and Sarah and Jan that you'll find throughout the collection, as well as Debbie Fisher and Michelle. You're going to find our design team as well. You'll see their projects as well popping up as well. So if you want to get your hands on that one, £12.99 or $19.95, or if you are platinum, that comes down to £10.39 or $15.96. So it's something that I say all over again as well, even although it's a brand new item and it's something that is right up to date in the market there, you're still going to get your Club Inspire on top of that one as well. What will the papers, the stencils, the stamps, what will work well is with your launch day collection, and that is our Crafters Companion Create a Card ribbon threading die collection. 12 elements in total. Within this one here, you're going to be able to do all your ribbon threading, but you can do so much more as well. Your stencil, your spritzing, pop them onto your foil press as well if you want to, for that full collection, those full options that you can be getting home. £61.99 or $71.75. Everyone straight off the bat today saves 20%, but it comes down to £49.59 or $57.40 for you guys stateside. You guys across Central Europe, you're not left out. You just need to go to either crafterscompanion.co.uk here in the UK, .com for you guys stateside, and .eu for you guys Central Europe. So enough chatting from me. I know you want to see exactly what you can be doing with these ones again. So let's go across to Debbie, where she's going to show you lots of other ideas.
Absolutely, and we've got pretty florals this time. The fact that it's a creator card, we've popped it into the 2 pieces. That will create your lovely border panel where you can literally then stick it onto your cards. This piece on its own will cut directly into your cardstock with no outer frame being cut, which means then you can do things. And I am going to do later on in the second hour, I am going to do a box and showing you how to create a lovely box, gift box there. So lots of lovely ways that you can use it. I am going to use, though, our new named
Purpose.
Purpose.
You try to do a Scottish accent there as well, are you? Purpose.
I wasn't trying to do a Scottish. I'm absolutely terrible.
Out.
I love it when you do the Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello, dear. I love how you do it. I just think.
Hello.
I love how
you Doubtfire, dear.
I could never do a Scottish. I can't even say it. Scottish accent if I tried, and I wouldn't try. So I love listening to you, though. I could listen to you all day long. I could. So pop that on. I'm going to use the full frame again because I do like the idea of a panel, and I am going to make a reversed easel card with this one, Craig.
Okay.
So we're just going to run that through again. Let's pop that into our Gemini. Hey, there's a great deal still on the...
I believe there is indeed, yeah.
Yes, I think we might be featuring that later on today. What was that, Producer Georgina? Half price?
Gemini Junior, rose gold. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, that'll only be for the UK, is it? Yes.
That's amazing. I didn't realise it was half price. I knew it was a deal, but I didn't realise it was a half price one.
Good, isn't it?
Which, to be fair, the power of a Gemini, no matter what size you get, Craig, just phenomenal. And the fact that it's a fantastic colour as well just means, ooh, absolutely beautiful. So let's take our frame off. I'm going to pop my die back on there. Actually, I'm just going to bring this in for a second because I'm going to show you. Let me just tap out and just get rid of my die into there. But I'm just going to show you now. So when you've got all, and it cuts like a dream, honestly, it's absolutely beautiful. But the pattern. So the pattern enables you. Can you see all these pieces here, Craig?
You can, yeah.
So you've got like going. In fact, I'll start with the one going down. So you've got the one going
You're
down.
You're trying to think horizontal and vertical, aren't you?
Oh, honestly, you just spoke for choice because you can go down your pattern, which it tells you here. On the second one, it's going across, so you could use it going across and create your ribbon through there as well.
Yeah.
And then you've got the one where you could do both. So that's what I'm going to do with this one.
Okay.
I'm only going to use one ribbon again, but you can use multicoloured ribbons. You could use plethora of rainbow ribbons. Wouldn't that look amazing as well? Oh my days, I'm just thinking there. I've just come in with a little organza one, Craig. I did tell you I've got a slight addiction to ribbon. I'm going to give her a little shout out. My friend Chris feeds me my addictions of
she'll feed her.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. And I have got tons of ribbons. Not going to own up how many I've got, because I've got quite a few. But I just love ribbon, Craig. I just absolutely love ribbon. Now, let's have a think. Shall we? Let's do it this way. Again, I've popped some tape round there. Okay. And we did say it's been specifically designed to work with your 6mm, but this isn't 6mm, Craig.
No, it's
That's
not.
That's not 6mm at all. But you can use any kind. I've gone with a nice delicate organza ribbon for this one, just for the sake of this particular demonstration, but it's because I'm going to use some of our lovely papers from the... just trying to think of the one that I got it from.
I suppose if you're using thicker ribbon, certainly organza, you're going to get that ruffled effect, aren't you, as well?
Exactly what you're going to get in there. Or it may double up and crisscross over. So lots of different size ribbons are going to work equally as well. But obviously they've been designed with a 6mm one, which is a thin one, in mind. Actually, 6mm is not too bad, actually.
No?
It's not too bad. But again, just so easy to use. And again, just make sure that you make... Oh, guess what's happened?
What?
My end's dropped off.
Oh, no.
And the only reason I've taped it is because organza is notorious.
Yes.
It is notorious for, and I'm going to do it again, Craig, so let me grab on some tape. It's notorious for fraying.
Yeah.
But I don't want to stop using it just because it frays.
No,
I don't
not
want
at all.
to, just stop.
When there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. And that's when tape or singeing.
Do you know what I'm thinking as well, actually? And I've generally not looked before the show, but I don't see why not, and I'm sure you can correct me if I'm wrong. You would be able to cut your strips of paper and just feed them through, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
you would, actually.
Yeah, absolutely, Craig. That's a great shout out, that one, because that's a great way of thinking and using it as well. There's lots and lots of different ways that you can use it, but I'm just going to go in with me tape here. Then yeah, lots of different ways you can use paper is a great idea. And I'm just going to pull that through again, pretty similar to what I did, because I'll just do it a couple of ways, because I can see how Jamie's eagerly waiting in the
No,
wings.
he's just walked in.
So exciting. Did you catch any of the show this morning, Craig?
I did while I was getting ready.
Oh, and what that man doesn't know. And some amazing things coming
awesome,
up.
isn't it? Yeah.
So stay tuned, stay tuned.
And if you love your nesting dies like me, wait till you see these.
Oh my goodness, yeah, absolutely. So let's pop on some tape again. I'm holding it down with tape. Again, red liner tape will work equally as well around this. I think it just depends on the finish that you want.
Yeah.
We were talking this morning, perfect for shaker cards as well. Cause you
Absolutely.
once you've done all your ribbing, you could pop some acetate underneath and then form on a roll and put your shaker elements in there. So there's lots and lots of ways that you can do it. But I'm going to carry on threading, Craig. Have anybody commented?
We have got loads. You've just taken the words right out my mind as well. So much love certainly on your tip, Debbie, with both the tape at the end, feeding the ribbon through right to the end, just snipping where you need to. We have got, where did I get up to? Angela on Facebook is saying she's got 2 boxes of ribbon. Well, you'll be able to get them used up within these ones here. Haley Ralph on Facebook is saying, I am an absolute ribbon hoarder and I have been for years, a bit like Debbie. I love these dies to be able to display them in such beautiful ways. Yeah, be able to do that, yeah. What about a nice little box frame or something and just ribbon thread them and that's it, all you need to do. Beth saying, I haven't tried these dies. That's interesting to know that, Beth. Maybe just to say as well, if you maybe don't want that full collection, there is an option whereas maybe you just want the 2 of them, you want to cherry pick 2 of them. So if you don't want to go for the full ones, if you've never tried them, you can go for 2 of them for £23, $25 or €27. So you choose 2 of them, across on the website, shop the day, and that'll be a nice little introduction for you if you wanted to.
Absolutely. Now, Craig, I don't know what it's supposed to be the heat in this room, but my tape does not want to stick on.
Is it not playing ball? No.
It's not playing ball today. No, it's not playing ball. Not only is it not playing ball, I would genuinely would not, me personally, that's just my personal preference, I would just singe that end just because it makes it a little bit easier. And once it's nice and crisp as well, I know it sounds awful saying it like that, but when it's nice and crisp, it's really easy to thread.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put a little bit extra on there than I'd been doing and just continue to thread. But I'm so pleased that people are loving them because these really are fun dies. And they are the ones that are going to really make your makes stand out.
Oh, absolutely.
When you use them, when you've decorated them. And then just, you know what you could do? Cut loads of panels out, thread loads of ribbons, stick them in a box somewhere, and then when you want to make a card, absolutely, you've got some ready to go.
Sit on the couch, watch Coronation Street, EastEnders.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever reality shows on.
You can see with the thickness that I'm doing, it's kind of doubled up and scrunching up and it gives it a nice real ruffled effect. So again, what I'll just do, Craig, is I'm just going to pull that to the end, but it's, rather than doing all of it, I'll show you the next way that I'm going to do it because I've got a finished one and I don't want to spend all my time threading because I think you get the gist. Once you've got the idea, you get the gist behind there of how to do that. So I'll just trim off this. And then again, what we're going to do now is go the opposite direction. So we've gone across, and imagine that all the way across.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take it, but this time we're going to go diagonal down. Diagonal. Straight forward down. What's the word? Vertical.
Vertical.
Vertical. Thank you, Jamie. He gave me the nod then. Me and Craig would get his words mixed up all the time, don't we? Can you remember when we first started what we called Friar Brown? We used to call it Friar Brown.
Friar Brown. We just could not get to grips with the name Friar Brown, could we? No.
And it's only when she told us, Leanne told us, didn't she? Imagine Robin Hood. And then we went, that's how you remember Friar Tuck. Absolutely. Oh, but look, just look. I mean, how beautiful. So you can see now you've got it going both directions. And when you've completed it, and I've taped all mine down, that's where it looks on the back.
Right.
When you turn it over, it just looks absolutely exquisite with all that organza ribbon running through there. And of course, then you could go in a different way as well. There's lots of different ways, and it does explain that on your packaging of the 3 different ways that you can use it. I've gone with the 3rd option this time, so I've gone both directions on this one. You've got some that will offer you a crisscross design. Now, I've just taken some of our multi-purpose card. Thank you, Craig. And I've used some of our, and actually I've gone with a matching colour that matches papers that we had out quite recently. How long was it that we had the peacock? Can you remember, Craig?
I'm trying to...
I know, honestly. So I'm going to make what we call a reversed easel with this. So it's a little bit similar to like a fold back card. And a 5x7 is what I've done with the fold back element. But instead of having it as a fold back, I've just turned it as like a tent fold and pulled it back in on itself. So the fold opens up from this end. Can you see?
Yeah.
And the panel is going to sit on the front when I've decorated that up. So I'm just going to use my glues. But yeah, peacock, I can't remember when it was.
Do you remember the peacock collection was our very, very first craft along that we done when it came to our craft along show? Award-winning craft along show.
Award-winning craft along. Really?
Gosh,
that must have been last year.
Maybe it was early last year anyway. Maybe
Somebody's going to know on the social comments.
Something like that,
going to know that.
You know.
But I've just taken a snippet of the paper. It's got some beautiful spot foiling in there, and I thought it quite matched the kind of colour theme with my ribbon.
Does.
So I tend to look at. I mean, I went with my ribbon first and then my papers, but normally it's the other way around, Craig. I usually choose the papers and then decide. But I was led by my ribbon this time, which. Wow.
Gosh, you're good, Georgina. Friday the 5th of February last year.
Wow,
yeah. It was
Did you do
Ben.
the first ever award-winning craft along?
I'd done the first craft along, yeah.
I didn't know
Myself
that.
and Ben. It was in the Peacock collection.
I do love doing craft alongs. Can I give a shameless plug to mine tomorrow?
Of course you can.
Thank you very much.
You can pick anything you want when you're on with me, I don't mind.
I've got a craft along project tomorrow coming up at, I believe, 2 p.m. I think. I could be wrong, actually. Do you know, I'm trying to get my head around this new schedule. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Producer Georgina. It is 2 p.m. tomorrow. Now, can you see I chose the matching kind of theme there to run through. Although, to be fair, Craig, it's going to get covered up because what I'm going to do is attach my top panel onto that bit. Now, again, this would be either red liner tape, but for speed, I am going to use... Oh, saying that, Craig, this is super strong glue.
It is.
But I do love red liner tape when it comes to things like this. I'm only going to go a fraction of there because what I want to do is kind of measure it up. So I'm going to take it just below those... peacocky feathers.
Yeah.
Debbie. See what I mean about being super strong? Hang on a minute. Oh, dearie me, that weren't coming off.
I thought it was a peacock sound there a moment ago.
But I just wanted to get that onto there. Perfect. And then I'm using now, I've got myself, I did tell Debbie, I'm slightly obsessed with how many dyes at the minute. So I've used our With Love and some foam pads just to lift it off, because this is going to be my stopper for my reverse easel.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to position it where I want it. I'm going to pop that into place, going across there like so. Yep, I think I'm quite happy with that. Yep, that sits very nicely there. And then I'm just going to turn that round because apart from adding a little bit of a rainbow, but it's just showing you the kind of things we did say
beautiful.
creator cards. And I've just kept it really simple in my colour theme.
Yeah.
One ribbon, but 2 different ways that you can do that. Absolutely beautiful.
Do you know what is absolutely beautiful with that one as well, Debbie? Sometimes when you have an image, a background, a design that's vertical and horizontal together, it can be a little bit too much.
Yep.
But the way that the Leanne and the product development team has designed them and shaped them, by able to go horizontal and vertical, it complements. It looks absolutely beautiful as well. I'm just quickly going to go over all of that for those that have not had a chance to get them yet. Just want to do a little bit of a quick shout out there. Linda Fitzsimmons, who does incredible samples on our team. She uses tacky glue as well at the end of the ribbon, just to let it go hard, feed it through as well. Or clear nail polish. Never thought of that.
Thank you, Linda. That's a great top tip as well. I like that one.
Lots of love for your techniques as well as your finished card there, Debbie. Alison Hull on YouTube is saying, I love Craig's idea of using the die cuts as a stencil. Yes, you can do. Peggy on Facebook, what size ribbons can be used? Well, as Debbie said, and Debbie's shown you, pretty much any. You know, if you do go thicker, you're going to get that nice crumpled effect, so just have fun. That's the key thing as well. We've got Pammy on YouTube saying Crafters Companion and Hunky Dory do the best magazines. I'm going to agree with you on that one. Mix and match if you want. And also Pammy's saying the little bee on the stamp set is adorable. You're going to find all these images when it comes to your stamp collections, or the stencil or the die, referring to the magazine as well, with these extras you're not going to find elsewhere. But let's go back to our launch day ribbon threading dies. And this is a ribbon threading, but it is a create a card. So Debbie was showing you how you can cut in or cut out. That's the good thing with having the outline die. You know I adore when we've got dies with an outline die because it gives you more options. So this one is the Create a Card Ribbon Threading Die Collection. 12 elements in total, because within each pack you get the design as well as the outline. You've got, in this full selection, you've got Charming Lace. You've also got your bold florals. So all have got a different pattern, a different form which you can thread your ribbon. Baroque swirls. We've even got pretty florals. We've even got diagonal lace. And then you've also got your elaborate lace. So all of these ones look beautiful when it comes to the ribbon threading. However, spritz through them, stencil through them, do your inking through them as a stencil form. Use them on the foil press as well. Use all these different ways when it comes to the actual ribbon threading. Just to say as well, if any of you want to get your hands on the coral all-purpose glue that Debbie was using just not that long ago, we've got a lovely set across on the website. Just go into Shop the Day, remember. No longer is it Shop the Show, Shop the Day. So you just need to go up into the video of our show and then you can find everything that we've got featured on Crafters TV across on the website. Okie-doke, right. What we're going to do right now is we're going to take a moment so that we can then get Debbie to have a little break, and Jamie's away to pop in, and we're going to spend an hour with him. But while we do that, why not check this video coming up right now?
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up. I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Make your die cutting tools last as long as your love for crafting with the Gemini Accessories clear cutting plates. Your metal dies are put under lots of pressure with each pass through your Gemini die cutting machine. So to make sure they cut crisp, clean, delicate designs for years to come, you need to look after your dies, and that's where the Gemini Accessories clear cutting plates come in. Quick buy. Get yours now.
Good afternoon, good morning, welcome back to Launch Day here on Crafters TV. We've already had a very, very busy hour and 23 minutes with Debbie, where we were giving you the first look when it comes to our Launch Day collection, which is all about our ribbon, thread and dies. Debbie's going to be back later on in the show where we're going to go over lots more ideas and inspiration. But what we do have is a very special company and a very special guest here on Crafters TV. You guys already adore Creative Expressions and the brands underneath their umbrella, and you all absolutely adore this guy, the most talented guy I know when it comes to the craft industry. It is, of course, Jamie. Jamie, it's so exciting to have you here, but for me to be on this side while you're across there, I am so excited.
That's just too kind. Thank you. Genuinely. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. It's
Mutual respect today.
Meant. Right, so now you were in earlier on today obviously Crafters TV. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, when did you start crafting? When did you get involved with Creative Expressions? Anything. You tell us anything.
Oh, wow. Buckle up.
Craig's life stories.
So crafting wise, I got into crafting all of my life actually. I was having this chat while we was off air a little while ago. I've always crafted in one format or another, to be honest with you. I think like at school, one of my favourite projects to do was designing the package into a light bulb, and I think it was at that moment that I realised it was all about the design. It was all about colours and bringing the bits together and seeing how they worked, and I think that stuck with me really. So moving into crafting as an actual hobby sort of started probably about when I was 14. I went into a lot of furniture restoration, and I loved attacking old coffee tables and bits like that and seeing what I could do with them. And then papercraft come around possibly more as a priority when I was about 18. I got into scrapbooking, and then we sort of got into the craft industry ourselves as a family, and then that led me on to getting the job with Creative Expressions, which was very nice. I was sort of doing some videos for YouTube, and the lovely Sue Wilson, see one of those, and asked if I'd come and do the TV side for Creative Expressions.
I've met her once, and it was I tried, genuinely, I tried not to do that. You know, when you're she's, an absolute legend.
She is. And she's so lovely.
She is.
That's the bit that, you know, you don't always know what you're going to get with these legends, but no, she's an absolute dream and a lovely person to call a friend. And
this was like way back 2013 or something. She won't remember me, but I'll always remember that day, that's for sure, indeed. But as Jamie was saying, you know, so many incredible things that you're going to find with Creative Expressions, and what we've got with you today is something that is, from the heart when it comes to Jamie, and it's all about tea bag folding, a really, really old art and a phenomenal art. However, what Jamie's done is brought it right up to date here, giving you the dies to do the die cutting and the tea bag folding, doing the stamp so that you can, of course, stamp them, then die cut. But as you at crafters at home, I know you'll be using the dies on their own, the stamps on their own, but what you're also going to get is your 64 sheets of top quality. I say paper because, correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie, but this will be the perfect weight to do the tea bag folding.
So yes, when we're tea bag folding, we should always work between a 60 GSM and 160 GSM.
Gotcha.
And the paper packs are 120 GSM. So they're a perfect weight for you in the middle, so you can fold them, you can do your origami styles and techniques with them, such as tea bag folding, but they're also a good enough weight that you could still use them for your mats, your layers and your other card making and paper crafting ideas.
Perfect, excellent. So what I'll do then is I'll go through the boards and finished samples. Just first of all though, it is, if you are here in the UK and you want to get your hands on these ones here, £111.49 for you guys stateside, £169.99 says for you guys. That's everything that you are getting, that you can see on your screen, you're going to be getting. Even although it is Creative Expressions, you're still going to get your Club Inspire on top of that one. So if you are Platinum, that comes down to £89.19 or $135.99. And what I'm also going to say as well, even although it's Creative Expressions, if you join the Club Inspire today, which is free, you get 20% off your first order. which includes Creative Expressions or Jamie's collection. So you would be that same price as well if this is your first purchase. So what you're going to be getting within everything here is each set will complement each other when it comes to the stamps and the dies. However, for me as well, I think, gosh, these stamps would be lovely to use on their own. And I suppose, Jamie, there's no reason that you couldn't use the stamps on their own, could you?
Absolutely, yes. There's a couple of samples around. I think there's one in the pile somewhere where you can show them just stamped as backgrounds instead.
Right.
They're also really good if you like. Another, talking of old sort of traditions, is the medallion stamps where we sort of glitter them and cut layers out and layer them up and turn them into like a pyramid as such. That works really well too. So there's several elements that you could cut and layer if you want to.
Yeah, that's fab that you've got all that options when it comes to those ones there. So believe it or not, that's come from the square set, everything I was just showing you there. You've got your lovely little sentiments as well that you could be using for your mum, your dad, friend, etc, etc. Then what we're also got, now remember, everything that I'm showing you, you get within the big bundle. If you do want to cherry pick certain selections or certain collections, or maybe just the dies, or maybe just the stamps, you can absolutely do that across on our website as well. We've made it even easier for you, so you don't need to go and hunt for shop the show. You're just going to go on and shop the day, and everything there, including Jamie's collections from Creative Expressions, are there. So what you're also going to be getting is the octagons. So within these ones, you can be creating these absolute gorgeous samples. I know they're very impactful, however, very quite dainty as well in some aspects. This is obviously the one that you were on about.
Yeah, there's a couple of these. That's your octagon version. So again, yeah, just using them for your backgrounds. Or if you want to put those in the background behind the medallions, that works as well. So yeah, lots of freedom to create.
Yeah, absolutely freedom. If I quickly bring in the squares again, so you can see the fonts all work beautifully together as well, so you know you can start to build up.
Also, what's worth noting, the fonts on all of the tea bag stamps coordinate, and then we've also got a separate set of stamps today that I'm sure we'll talk about at some point, which have got slightly smaller sentiments and fonts on them. So if you wish to get all of the collections, they sort of will work together, so you can go all the way through your cards or your projects.
Yeah, oh, that's so good to know as well. Really good to know that you're able to then mix and match them, and you know they're going to complement each other as the stamps do with the dies. Then what we've got is circles. So you've got Just Because, On Your Special Day, and Smile as well. Very much, an instant glance to me, it's very much like your Zentangling sort of effect within these ones here. You can then do a little bit of shading. It's just that, you know how sometimes someone catches your eye straight away and you just think, oh, it's got that look to it as well. So maybe a little bit of shading or that. Lots of things you could be doing, such as these ones. And if I bring in the next one side by side, the exact same stamp and die, but Jamie, how different does that look?
I think that's one of the beauties with this collection. It's down to the colours you put with them.
Yeah.
It's like the dad one obviously is designed as a bit more masculine. This one again, same products, but I'd probably send this to my mum for her birthday or for Mother's Day maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, same project or products, just different colours, different decorations, different mediums to colour them with. And it's all down to you, really.
Well, that's it. And it's something I say a lot here, and I'm sure some people will get fed of it. Apologies if you do. But please don't underestimate the power of colour, because it can completely change the look of what you're creating as well. So, you know, whether you're going with some of the pastel tones that you've seen within finished samples that you do, whether you go your deep colours, monochromatic, just looks completely different, but you're using the same stamp, the same die.
They're like foundations, aren't they? And we build up with our colour.
They are actually, yeah. Yeah, really, really like that way of thinking. It does indeed. Then what we've got to finish off as well are pointy petals here. So you've got your 3 stamp sets here within the main design, but because you're special, happy birthday to you and love you. Look at that. Is that vellum? Is it vellum parchment?
That is vellum, yes. Yeah, that's our foundation's vellum. Just 2 cuts on each side to make your butterflies. But there's so many different ways you can take your shapes and build bits with them. That's just one of the ideas.
Yeah, so whether you are stamping and then die cutting, whether you're maybe just wanting to then do your actual cutting into the pad, maybe you want to do your own little bit of ink, and then of course you can do. I know Jamie was showing you earlier on lots of incredible techniques that you can do. We're going to have a look at some more as well. So everything there that I've showed you, you've got the stamps, you've got the dies, and you've got that paper pad as well. So in total there, the Jamie Rodgers Tea Bag Folding Full Collection. 8 dies, 27 stamps and 64 sheets of that top quality papers for you to do your tea bag folding. £111.49 or £169.99. If you are platinum, that comes down to £89.19 or £135.99. Just go onto our website, shop the day. I've tried really hard not to rush through that because all I want to do, Jamie, is watch you in action and seeing what you're away to be doing.
Oh, bless you, that's nice to hear, thank you. This is the demo that we're going to start off with.
Wow.
And we're going to play with some of our airless misters, and we're going to use some of our pixie sparkles as well for the background elements. Now this one does look quite 3D. I know some people are very concerned about postage, but I assure you it's down to the fold that we work with as to how big our medallion piece is actually going to be. And this one is all about the depth. I purposely wanted this one to stand quite proud. So what we're going to do to begin with is we're actually going to stamp our panel. So I'm going to bring in my stamp press. I've already got one of my large stamps in place.
Okay.
And to me, this one has a bit of a peacock feel to it. And maybe once I've stamped it, that will show you a little bit more of what I mean.
Right.
But we'll pop in our magnets just so we hold our paper roughly in place. And we'll bring in some ink. Now, I'm going to use a Versa Fine Clair ink for this because I want it to be waterproof, because we're going to be adding lots of water from our misters and our pixies and bits to that on top. Obviously, depending on what you wish to be doing with them, if you wanted to colour them with alcohol markers, you could be using an alcohol-proof ink or however you wish to, really.
Right,
you know the gist. Play with the inks as you need to for the mediums you're going to use afterwards. So once we've stamped that, I've just got a little bit there I want to go back to. Once we've stamped it, we have our image ready to work with. So our dies literally match up perfectly with this. Around the edge here, you're going to see that we have our larger frame. And the idea is the die will literally fit just inside there. So every time you send this through your machine, you know that you're going to be cutting it and it's going to be in the right place.
Perfect.
We will cut one of these out in a moment, but I thought we would show you the inking part of it next. So I'm going to pop this to one side. We'll get rid of our stamp press for the second and our ink pad.
I mean, even that design of the stamp, cut it out, you know, whether you don't use the die, maybe you want to use just your guillotine on a little 5x5 card or something with one of your sentiments as well. I mean, that's taken your collection further beyond, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. It's not all about the tea bag folding. If you want a tea bag folding, that's absolutely brilliant, and obviously that's what they're designed for.
Yeah, yeah.
But like you said, just a bit of glitter, just a small amount of decorations, a bit of sparkle, a few gems, and that could look like a really lovely background panel.
Absolutely.
If you do wish to add more to this, I'm going to bring in some different colours to the one on the card so you can see different colours in action. But we're going to use our airless misters. Now this one is our Bermuda Bay.
Okay.
And all we're going to do is take the lid off the top, and then we can start misting, and we will create a lovely background to work with on. I've stamped first. You don't have to. You can stamp after if you wish to. But I quite like stamping first, so I've got an idea of where I'm adding my colour to and where the end result is going to end up.
Yeah, that's a really good tip.
I'm then going to bring in the Icy Pink. Now, our Icy Pink is a pearlescent mister, and you're going to receive this one as well. The icy ones with the mica in them, so that's the bit that makes them pearlescent, are going to give you a nice shimmer and a nice sheen. I'm already attacking the desk, apologies. We now have a nice blue hue to the desk. So we've added mica now on top of this one, and we're going to leave that one pretty much there, or I would if I was going to continue. We will actually just add in a little bit of green galore because we've got it. So we'll add in a little bit of green as well. I love the green.
Can I just say as well, if in the past, any other brands you've had any issues with the application, I promise you, you won't with these airless misters when it comes to what you're using.
Absolutely, and I've sort of jumped ahead because I wanted to get on with the misty bit. But the actual bottles themselves, what we've done is we've removed the pipe work from the inside of them. So I've got this one here, which is just one of our bottles, but without the label. The label covers it all up, so you can't really see the magic that's working with inside these. But we've removed the pipe, and we have a base that lifts up a bit like some brands of toothpaste do.
Oh yeah.
So the more you pump, the more the base moves up. And that gives us the perfect control over our mist. And it means that we can actually, I'm not going to do it on air because I'll end up covering myself and I already get covered, but we can actually take these upside down and mist them, and they will still work, and they'll still give you that control. So they really are a brilliant mister to work with. Now for my panels, I wanted to leave them about there. I didn't want to add too much to them. But for our background panel, the bit that's going to go underneath our card, we're going to go a little bit more OTT. We're going to bring in a slightly larger tray here, because I do like to work on areas that are a bit bigger.
Okay.
And we're going to start misting with just a small amount of water. Now we have our mister bottles that I'm using on today's show, and I'm going to flip this over because you're going to start to see it already. Any times we add water to one side of card, it tends to curve.
Right.
So if we go over the reverse of it, it will start to flatten down. It will just take it back to where it was. Now,
yeah.
and I was like, why didn't I think of this? This is common sense, really, isn't
I've
it?
never thought of it before, so this is kind of a tip that I'm taking from you, Jamie.
Brilliant little tip though, because it will just flatten it straight back out. So we have our water down already in place. I'm going to bring in some of our airless misters again so that the colours coordinate with what we have over there.
Oh, wow.
Now the water, as you can see, will actually give you a more subtle effect because we've got a base that we're working on. So it's going to take it and it's going to travel out slightly more already. But we're going to add in our Bermuda Bay. We're going to bring in our icy pink as well. I'm going to add a little bit of that over the top here. I'm only going to be using a small frame of the panel that I'm working with. So I don't need to actually do all of it, but so you can see how it's created. I'm then going to bring in our Pixie Sparkles. Now Pixie Sparkles are a dye-based powder with large shards of mica. You may have also heard of our Pixie Powders, very similar product, but they don't have the large shards of mica, they have smaller shards of mica in them. So Pixie Sparkles will give you a more intense glitter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to tap this across the top here. And as the product goes down, it's going to start to firework out. Now, normally when we show these, and on the earlier show, I was showing you how we can just activate them with water and that they will firework out in their own way. We can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
But if you do have the airless misters, any moisture will activate them.
Okay.
So the airless misters are also going to help them pull out and give us a different effect going on underneath it.
Can I just say as well, Jamie, just being a crafter, the reason I don't want to interrupt what Jamie's saying, so everything he's using you will see coming up at the side of your screen, but we will go over them just later on as well if you're wanting a little bit more info on the price and that. I don't want to take away from what Jamie's doing, but you will see them pop up at the side of your screen.
Thank you. This one is Gilded Plum that I'm adding in now, and Gilded Plum has this really lovely coppery golden fleck to it. You wouldn't at home give this a wiggle, but I'm going to try just so you can see a little bit of the glitter go. If you wish to, at home, wait for it to dry, you'll see the shimmer full on, but to me, that's where the magic is. You can also bring in other shades, so we've got like a sunburst, so if you wanted to add a bit more of a golden tone into here, you can absolutely do that. This one's giving me sort of UFO-y vibes, but bringing in the yellow goes a little bit more unicorny maybe.
Actually, Jamie, do you mind if I stand next to you just for a moment or two and have a look at that?
Of course you can, you're more than welcome.
The joys of the world at the moment, being able to do that.
Oh wow. It's cool, isn't it?
That is so cool.
So just mix your colours. So this one, obviously, we've got our greens, our yellows, our purples, our blues, our teals. They're all formulating in there. They're all going to dry exactly as you see it. So it shouldn't change much. Might absorb slightly, but it'll be pretty much as you see it now.
Oh, perfect.
So mixing your products isn't something to be afraid of. I've got a little air bump in mind, so I would just lift it up and flatten it down just to make sure that I don't have any runs in my actual work. If you want to dry it with a heat gun, you can do, but anytime you've got pools of water like I have here, if we bring heat into it, it's going to start blowing them about, and you might find that area gets a little bit more muddy. So I do recommend, if you can be patient, leave them till at least the pools have dried down, then set it with your heat tool. At home, I tend to take these sheets off and put them onto a baking rack, so that the air can get the whole way around it. Good idea. Because on a tray like this, it's sitting in its own moisture, so it's going to take a little bit longer. If you wanted to take prints off the top of them with other pieces of card, if you get a bit carried away, feel free to do that. If you want to dab a little bit away with tissue or kitchen roll, you can do that as well. So this is one of the things you can't really do wrong. Just throw your products on, see if you like it. This is one I've already done. So when we talk about dry panels, this is one that's already been done. This is more just sticking to the Bermuda Bay from the LS Misters. And then on top of here, we've got the Into the Blues and a little bit of the Gilded Plum going on as well. Just a very light amount, which has given us them two different colours of mica. So you've got a bit of a silver and a gold going on. What
that reminds me of, you know, if I'm watching a David Attenborough programme and it's the camera from the sky looking down at the sea, and it's got, you can just see the rock formations just underneath at that distance. It's just what I thought of there as I was looking at it.
That's a bit too intelligent viewing for me. I haven't seen this.
I thought you were ready to say a bit too intelligent for me. I was ready to say you're right.
No, just a confession on my behalf. That isn't something I've yet witnessed. I should. I love the idea, but I haven't yet got to see. So we're going to take on our piece of card and we're going to pop that down onto our card blank. So we've got this nice background. Now, slight sacrilege here. We're going to cover up most of it. Okay. And we're going to bring in a piece of mirror card to do that over the top. It's quite sad because it's so lovely. And if I was at home, I would probably be very tempted to cut the middle out. So I've got that for a different project. But that's the joy of TV.
Yeah,
we need to be quick. So we'll pop this in over the top and let that be in place. And then we're going to bring in one of our embossing folders. So we have our graduated dots embossing folder. Now these are 3D folders, so hopefully even on the reverse here we can see we've got them really deep dimples, which give me a bit of an idea of a golf ball. So maybe if you're doing cards for men's cards or dad at Father's Day maybe, and you want a golf theme.
Or if you're originally from a golfing town where you could give that card to everyone, like me, for Misty.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go then.
Yeah.
See, I don't know why I get golf ball themes, but I do. On the front, obviously, we've got the dots. If you're into doing your grouting techniques of your texture paste, these 3D folders are brilliant for that because they've got nice, deep elements for you to pop bits into.
Yeah.
And then we're going to bring in our happy birthday, where I've got it, and we're going to pop that down on the front here, just so it's ready. Now, obviously, the bit we are missing here is our big medallion, so we need to go back and complete that panel. So what I have is one of my pieces which are already dry. You can see this one's got some nice big particles of mica on here, which is absolutely fine. We're going to bring our die in and we're going to match that onto the top, and we're going to use some masking tape just to hold that in place. So I'll pop that on.
Just going back to your embossing folder there, sorry Jamie, and I know this might sound silly, it is so hard to make a circle 3D when it comes to a folder that, you know, I know after speaking to Leanne and having that depth within those circles with the 3D.
It's pretty incredible, isn't it? Yeah. They work some sort of magic sometimes when they make them folders to me. I think it's just amazing what they do. So I'm going to use my Gemini for this one, obviously, but you could use them in any machines that are probably about A5-ish in size. Without naming lots of names, you should be absolutely fine. If you're using your thin dies, you shouldn't have a problem. I think you've got a Gemini Junior that this would fit into, no problem. And this is the larger die.
But even if it's, like, doesn't have to be a Gemini, you know, they'll go through any die-cutting machine.
No, any one that they fit through will be absolutely fine. So as we can see, this is now cut out for us. Now, I mentioned this earlier when we was talking. I often refer to it as educating the paper. These lines in the middle here will score your paper ready for you to fold them. So we're going to do our diamond fold this time, or our triangle fold.
Okay.
So by that, what I mean is we're going to go for the line that's going from corner to corner. So, and we're going to put that cross in place. On this morning show, I show you how you could create a different style of fold with the square one by going for a plus instead.
Right.
This time we're going to go for a cross. So we're going to take our piece and we're going to fold it, going right the way across itself. And we're going to find our bone folder, which I've put away. We're going to pop that down there, just to make sure them creases are nice and in place. We're going to open this up, and we're going to do exactly the same in the opposite direction, so that our cross is now there. So if I sit that there, we can see that we've gone across it in both directions. Now, I try to refer to this as a compass at this point. So we have our north, east, south and west point, and that's the easiest way I can tend to remember this. Okay. We're going to bring our north and our east together, and we're going to bring our south and our west together. And we're literally just going to squidge that in, and we're going to squidge the other side in, and fold that down into our triangle. And that is the basics to pretty much all of the folds I would ever talk about. Right. There are other folds available. There are millions of other folds. There are literally two. I've got at least 2 books at home. Nothing to do with me, not wrote by me, but have been wrote over the years on two-bag folding. Endless different folds on them. But the bit I wanted to show you is in our instructions, which you receive in every single packet.
You get them as well?
Yep, these are all printed on the inside of your packaging. So you've got the instructions. And I've taken you down here on the basic fold to stage 5, approximately. From here, it will tell you can break off and you can do fold 2, 3 or 4. to give you different effects. It's completely up to you. Then of course on the reverse you've got your 2 different size dies, but every packet has them instructions in there.
Yeah.
Now the basic fold, I would tell you, is to take these 2 pieces that we have in the front here, and we can bring them up into the air so you can see them. So we've got our back panels and we've got our front panels, and normally we would fold these directly into the centre, which I'm going to do to show you.
Okay.
We'd fold that one down and we'd fold this one down, matching our pattern perfectly in the central line, using our bone folder to hold them in place. For this fold, what we're going to do is, instead of bringing them up and into the centre, we're going to tuck them round underneath. So we're going to open this out and we're going to fold that back into the inside.
Right.
And now you'll notice that our panel has gone underneath our top layer and is way back there. And we're going to do the same with this one, and we're going to tuck that down. Now this just shows you how you can keep that fold really, really flat.
Yeah.
So if postage is something you're concerned about, that is going to stay relatively flat. Might spring up a little bit if you wish to. But what we're going to do is we're going to tease these out so that they're standing on their crease lines. And that will give us a lot more dimension.
Wow.
So we've really gone up in the world a bit in this case of height. And there's so many different folds we can do with these. One of my favourites is taking this top bit and opening it out into a square, and I'll hopefully show you that at some point in today's little tips and techniques as we go through. So from here, we need a way to join our panels together. So I've already jumped ahead and I have a sticky piece of card here. I've taken a self-adhesive sheet, I've backed it onto a piece of card, and I've just cut it into a square.
Oh, perfect.
It doesn't even have to be this large, and if you don't have self-adhesive sheets, just squidging a bit of glue out onto a piece of card is fine. But I'm going to bring in my pieces and I'm going to start popping them down. So I've already pre-folded all of these, so you don't have to watch me do all 8. I'm going to try and make this quite neat and joining up. So we're going to go all the way around with our 4 pieces.
This is looking so cool.
And it's actually quite easy. You know, your first fold, I know I tend to try and show it to you quite slow, so hopefully it's clear and I make sense. But actually, you can do them quite quick. The more you do of them, you'll get quite used to it.
Yeah.
So you will notice that your patterns match up. So when we go back to, if I bring this in, this is our original stamped image. If we lay that on top, you can see you've still got the exact same pattern. Because we've folded the paper in the right way, we still maintain that pattern. So you can leave this with 4 if you want to. That's no problem at all. You can leave that as a 4-piece panel. You could add in gems or flowers or bits sort of going around it to fill in the other areas. Or we can start introducing more panels.
Right.
So I have another 4 here that we're going to bring in. And this time, because we haven't got the self-adhesive to stick them to, we're going to add our own glue onto the reverse. So I'm just using some Cosmic Shimmer Dry Clear glue, but whatever your favourite glue is fine.
Just build up.
And I'm just going to sneak them in over the join lines. So you're going to see you've got your 3 join lines, the bits without the extra folded areas. These are where we're going to just pop these into.
Okay.
And you will find they will just glide straight in. On the earlier show, we did 2 smaller shapes in our demos. This one is one of our larger ones. So you can see the larger they are, a little bit more forgiving, because of obviously we've got more area to play around with. But they all work in the same way. They will just slide right down into place for you to add them in. And then we'll just do our last one around this side. And we have built up our 8. Now, even at this point, all of your tips should match so that we end up with quite neat areas at the end. And all of these pieces can just be folded up to give you a more 3D effect if you wish to. Again, if you want to keep them relatively flat for posting, you can do that as well. It's really down to how you're going to present your card, if you're going to put it into a box or a padded envelope or however you'd like it to be. Then the bit I like as well is I love to collect buttons and gems and bits. So I'm actually taking a shanked button, cut the back off and put it on a foam pad. And I'm going to pop that into the centre there. And then we can take this part and we might actually, let's go flat this time to save me looking for me tape. We'll put a bit of glue on the back of it and we're going to pop that onto our card. Wow. And that completes our first one. So ever so simple, ever so easy. Nothing at all taxing, I assure you.
That is absolutely fab. Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that. Isn't that phenomenal? The depth that you've got within that one there with the colours that you've used, Jamie. But then, you know, the airless misters, you'd have a different look depending on the colour that you've used when it comes to those ones.
And how much you use as well. It's all down to how intense you are with either the Pixies or the Airless Misters, how much water you put with them as well. So if you do want to dilute them down, or if you want to blot off from the top of them, honestly, the choice is up to you.
Yeah, you're in complete full control when it comes to these ones. Now, remember as well, if you've seen that full collection that we touched upon earlier on, we will have a look at it again. Within each set, you've got 2 dies. The coordinated stamps, you've actually got 3. So see what Jamie's just made there, you know, from that set that he's got, you can still do the other 2, but you've got that option throughout them all as well. You don't want to get inky, don't worry about it. You've got the papers as well to go with it as well. It's all about options when it comes to Jamie's collection as well as creative expressions. Maybe you just find, Craig, it's just, I want to try it, I'm intrigued by it, I love the thought of it, it's just a little bit too much for me at the moment. Then what we've done is we've got so many options catered for you. If maybe you just want to just dip your toe in and try the dies alone, you can be doing that. You can go for Jamie Rodgers. This is the tea bag fold-in. This is the pointy petals. So you've got the 2 dies within this one here, $12.99 or $22.50, but platinum comes down to £10.39 or $18. Maybe you're like, I want to try the circles. Then you can go for the circles, that being $12.99 or $22.50, platinum price being the same, $10.39 or $18. Maybe you think, actually, no, I want the squares instead. Or you just might want these as well as the circles. But if you do want just the squares alone, 2 dies again, $12.99 or $22.50, $10.39 or $18. And then when it comes to the last ones, out of the dies, you have got the octagons. These ones here, $12.99, $22.50. Or, of course, platinum comes down to $10.39 or $18. So you've got that options there. Maybe you just want to have the dies on their own. You want to try it. You want to dip your toe in. Then you've got that option. Whether, of course, it is with the Gemini, but of course we know so many of you have other die-cut machines out there as well. As Jamie said, you'll be able to use them from like the Junior upwards, or as I say, an A5 machine as well. No problem whatsoever. Now, what is going to also complement what Jamie's been making, you're going to see this throughout so many of the samples, is the absolute legend herself, Sue Wilson. You know, you say Sue Wilson, and then for me, you also say nesting dies. You know how much I love nesting dies, how useful they are, and that's exactly what you've got within these sets here. So I've got a few options for you when it comes to these ones here. We have got the first one being our cut corner squares. So what we're going to do is let's show you what Jamie's done for us here, just to give you the idea as to options, just some of the options that you can use within these ones here. So use them as your mats and layers dies if you wanted to, but then you can create your apertures, you can create your frames as well if you wanted to. But this one being the Sue Wilson Noble Cut Corner Squares, 8 dies in total, £27.50 or $27.50, platinum price comes down to $22 or £22. This is how these look here. But then what you've got within these ones is you've got tiny little, it's like little dots, isn't it, Jamie, within these ones here?
It's the coolest little piercing detail,
isn't it?
And it's so easy to get them out. If you just hold your die and run your pokey tool down them, they'll just ping out.
But yeah,
so if you're looking at them thinking it's going to take forever, it's really not that bad to get them out.
Really not. Oh, that is fab for that one. And yeah, as I was saying there, for that sort of thing, for me, it's really quite therapeutic when it comes to popping all the bits out here. Maybe you're going to go for Jamie's full collection, maybe you're going to cherry pick section, but look at that one there, tag teaming the tea bag fold-in with our cut corner squares, or maybe you want to go, how elegant and sophisticated does that look? Absolutely beautiful. That one focusing on the cut corner squares. So that's that option for you if you want to go for that one. Maybe you're going, no, I'm just going to go for the circles here. So with the circles here, we've got double pierce. These are fabulous. These ones here, details just coming up on your screen just in a moment or two. But think about your little sentiments. Maybe again, thinking of your mats and layers, your frames, your apertures, your shaped cards that you can be doing with these ones here. This one being the Sue Wilson Noble double pier circles. This is your craft die, and also 10 dies in total. Both George and Georgina's just said in the gallery, and you're absolutely right, it's like you've been hypnotised when it comes to that one there, or a game of darts. £43.50, $43.50, or £34.80, or $34.80. But then this is a really smart way to use them. Not actually a way I've thought of before. Offset them. Jamie, that's really smart, that one.
I could tell you it was a complete mistake and they moved in my machine and confess all. But when it come through, I was like, I actually really love that. We're going to use
so
that.
Smart. Absolutely smart. And when we say as well, in past shows as well, where we take ideas not only from you guys at home, but trust me, many of these ideas that Jamie's been showing and talking about, I'm going to be taking as well. That is for sure. So that's your circle ones, and then that is how they look in the packaging as well. So you've got your 10 dies, hence how these ones look. Definitely know that these are creative expressions. So that's your circle one. Maybe you want to go with your double-stitched octagon. So what I'm going to do is let's show you these ones layered up in the black and white. These really do make it a I won't hold it up for too long. That's, yeah, playing with the eyes as well. These are all flat, but imagine the depth that you would get with your foam pads or your glue gel as well. Maybe you've got your images and like to create your pyramounts, you know, your pyramages, your inopage, all these sorts of forms of crafting you can start to do. So that is the double-stitched octagon craft die, 18 dies in total. That's how they look within the packaging. But then some of the finished samples that we can see just here. Well, here's one of them for you that we can see. So all incorporating the tea bag folding, but of course you don't have to. You can simply create stunning cards or card shapes with the dies on their own if you want to. So you've got that one there, that one being the double-stitched octagon die, 18 dies, £35.99, $35.99. Platinum comes down to $28.79 or $28.79 as well. Oh, wow. Oh, this is a cool one. I love this one. How smart is this one here? This one being the decorative square octagons. So this one, now, as you're looking at it on the screen, you might think these are tiny little dots. They're not. They're actually like little squares, Jamie, aren't they?
They are, yes. So this is our squared octagon die. Now this actually fits within inside the other octagon set,
okay.
So our noble one. So they're both nobles, but they actually work together. So if you've, basically this one doesn't have outside cutting blades.
Right.
So when you look at the one full of piercings, if you put all of the dies together through your machine, that's the effect you're going to achieve because there's no outside cutting lines. So if you do wish to add in the cutting lines, you do need the stitched ones as well.
Got ya.
But they will then work in conjunction to cut them out as apertures or frames or panels. So they're literally perfectly designed to go together.
Perfect, thank you for that, Jamie. So that's what you're going to be getting, the squared, decorative squared octagon die, 17 dies in total, $27.50 or $27.50, platinum price being $22 or £22. So that's what you're going to get, but then if you actually want to cut them out, if we just quickly go back in with the double stitched octagon as well, that's going to release them from the cardstock as well. But however, you know, if you're creative, like many of you are, you might just want to use the dies on their own and creating your different shapes, such as these ones here. It's all about options and it's in your control as to what you're going to be making. But then let's show you these ones. So these are combining with the stitched octagons, but then look at these as well. Two different forms, but how beautiful do they look? Think of the colour tones, think of the pattern papers, think of the inking that you can be doing. There's loads and loads and loads that you can be doing with these ones here. 17 dies within that one, and if you haven't guessed it already, £27.50, $27.50, or platinum price comes down to £22.22 euros, £22, $22, and then what I was away to say for all you guys across in Central Europe, you just need to go into your website for your euros, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au. Get your comments in, we will be having a read of them after Jamie has gone and shown us his next demonstration. Jamie, over at you.
Okay, so this one we're going to do is going to be quite simple because I didn't want it to be too complicated, but I wanted to show you a couple of different ideas. And one of the bits, we were talking about colour earlier, this is all going to be achieved with one felt tip, and it's really that simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop the card down, and I've already gone ahead and I've got a square of card pre-cut. This is going to be one of my layers. Now, I want to have a corner element on this. To protect my stamping press, I've just put a piece of folded copy paper in here, just so it doesn't get too inky. And we're going to pop down a couple of magnets to hold this in place ready. We're then going to bring our stamp in. Now this is different to the one we're going to use for the centre of our card for our folding, but I wanted it to work in the same shape. So they're both the pointy petals pieces. And I'm going to put it so the middle of the flower is flat into the corner. Now I know this is hard to see for you because we're white on white, but I'm going to try and position it so my point of my stamp goes up to the edge here, and my point goes across here with the point of the flower in the middle. I know I'm overhanging the edge of my stamping platform. I'm really not worried about that because I don't need pressure on this area because obviously I'm not stamping in that area. So we're going to open this up, we're going to add our ink onto our stamp, and we're going to bring this over and add in our first corner detail. Right. And then we're going to take our panel, and we know that we're flat against the edge. We know that we've gone up to the line on the press here, so we can twist that round, not moving our stamp at all. We can reapply some more ink, and we can bring that in and stamp our next corner. And we're just going to keep doing that all the way around. I'll just do one more just so you can see it's not a fluke and it doesn't matter what way it's going. But it will all coordinate and then it will match up for our middle piece. So we'll do that last one, our third one, and we'll remove that from our piece just so you can see that you have your 3 corners in place ready. Smart. So we're going to leave that to one side for a second, and I can then bring in my felt tip and I can pick out, and this is just a branded, any brand felt tip, and we're just going to go in and pick up the designs that are running through here, just so it all coordinates together. Now you would spend a lot more time doing this at home, I'd like to think. You could add in glitters, you could add in paints if you prefer, you could heat emboss your corners if you wish to have more of a recess to them, whatever you wish.
Do you know what would look lovely as well? I know Creative Expressions do that fabulous flake and glitter glue.
Oh, absolutely.
With your gilding flakes and that. Ooh.
Absolutely, that would work really, really well. So we're going to bring in our stamp press once again. This time we're going to get rid of these pieces because we don't need that bit and we don't need our stamp that we was just working with. So we'll pop them over to one side and we'll bring in our large pointy petal stamp instead so it all coordinates. We'll bring in another piece of copier paper. So weight of paper, this is our standard copier paper over here in the UK, the sort that you can purchase in any supermarket, where you'll get like a ream of paper for a few pounds. It's not a lot, it's about 500 sheets I believe, and it's literally a couple of pounds. So it's a bit of an investment. You can do an awful lot of tea bag feet folding with 500 sheets. 500 but sheets. But it's the perfect weight because it's only 90 GSM. Right. So again, when we talk of folding, that's a really good weight to be at. We can then stamp that one down. We can then bring in our colours. I love this design. I know I shouldn't have favourites, but I think this is my favourite. I love this. It's so regal and so ready for Christmas as well. I love Christmas crafts. And I think this one doubled back to back, would make a really cool Christmas tree ornament as well.
That's true. Good, isn't it?
Same idea again, just bring in your felt tip and colour around any areas you want to. Obviously, we're in the home of different colouring mediums here at Crafters Companion with all your Spectrum Noir markers. So if you wanted to blend and create different colours like that, you could do. But I would just very simply go around and highlight the pieces that I want to match in, and then I'm going to cheat because I have some I've already done earlier. Here's the one I'm looking for. I've then used my matching die to go ahead and cut this panel out, so it's then ready for us to fold. Now, of course, what this means is we have our matching corner colours, we have our matching shape of our stamps, we've just got a slightly different design on them, but I think that actually works in its favour. It
does actually, doesn't it?
So, just like last time, we're going to use the score lines which are already put into our crease. We're going to fold it in half, and as I mentioned earlier, score lines will sort of educate your paper so it knows where to fold.
Love that.
Fold that. We're going to open it out again, we're going to fold it in the opposite direction. And we have our points going across. So again, we're back to our compass once again. So we've got our north, east, south and west. Just like last time, we're going to pick this up. We're going to take our east to our north and our south to our west. And we're going to pinch them together. We're going to use the bone folder to flatten it down once more. And this time we're going to stick to the basic fold, which was the one where we just literally bring in the outside edges and fold them towards the middle. Now, one thing I didn't mention when I showed you the packaging earlier is I've also filmed a video which is on the Creative Expressions YouTube channel that's there for anybody to go and view, and it's me waffling on about all of these and showing you step by step how you can create them. So if I go a bit quick today, there is a guide to go back to. Now, another thing I wanted to talk to you about at this stage, because I was meant to a little while ago, is how we can nest them to do other bits with them. So if you wanted to make a Christmas tree, for instance, you can take 2 or 3 of these and stack them to make a Christmas tree. And I have a sample. I'm just going to reach over and bring in. And my tree's a little bit wonky there, isn't it? So you'd have to glue it down properly. But I'll bring this one in. This one is actually done with the squares. So that's the square dies. That is little bauble bits that I've got from another set of dies, a little pot from another Sue Wilson collection, different Sue Wilson background, but it's all more about this element, and that's all sticking to one size with your stamps and your square dies. But as you can see with our pointy petals, we could have a very nice pointy petals tree. Absolutely. And this is using the larger size as well. So play around with that concept too. It's not all just about making medallions. I'm going to reach for another card as well, and I will show you how you can make these into butterflies too. So hopefully we'll be showing you this in a bit more detail on the next demo I do. But you can literally bring 2 of these together, and you can then offset them, put another 2 this side, and you have yourself some butterflies instead. So they really are more than just the medallion part to them. But bringing them back, so finishing this card, I do this, I go off on little tangents, and then that's it.
It's good to see.
I've gone ahead with my base layer of my card. I've used my same felt tip around the edge so that it is matching perfectly with my colours. I'm going to use a piece of white card on top of that one. On this card, I'm going to use a piece of black card. On my original, I used a piece of navy pearl card, but the choice is yours. I'll pop that one down into the centre, and then we're going to bring in a panel which I've already gone ahead and done my stamping and colouring for them corner elements, and we're going to pop that, come away, onto the top of that one, and then we're going to use a circle element from the middle here. This again is one of our Sue Wilson Noble circles, so it's going to match in with that part too, and should fit just roughly up to the tips of the stamping piece. And then we're going to go ahead and build our medallion to go in the centre. So I'm going to take off the top of my sticky self-adhesive square once again, and we're going to bring these in exactly the same as we did last time. We're going to just start working around our shape, matching the point up, making sure that the pattern continues to join, going around as we go.
And the adhesive panel underneath, it doesn't need to be central or that, it's just as long as it's holding together.
No, as long as it's on there. Look at mine, mine's well off. It doesn't matter at all. It just, as long as you don't overhang it, but if you think you're going to start to overhang it, just trim it. But no, as long as there's something there that's holding it. You don't even have to do that. You can start at the beginning and just start gluing them into each other, threading them round, but I find it easier if I put all 4 in to begin with.
I'd be like you.
I just find that gives me a bit more security that I'm not going to end up with a gap at the end. And then we're going to, again, not that you should, but it's just my fear. Then I'm going to add my glue in, and I'm going to start popping these pieces back into the gaps to fill those areas. Again, if you don't want to do this many, you don't have to. No. If you did want to back it so that you'd got 2 either side to hang in an aperture or on a Christmas tree or something along them lines, then you absolutely can. And we'll pop our last one in around the side there.
What's key though as well when you've been saying all of that, Jamie, because I know obviously yourself, Creative Expressions have a following across in the USA, but I know at the moment, if we thought our postage was bad, I know that your guys' postage is, you know, ridiculously bad at the moment. However, with these ones, what Jamie's been showing you as well, how they do, you've got that dimension, you've got that sheer dimension, but they do go flat as well if you're popping them in the post.
I'm going to try and show you.
Look at that.
You know, that, I'm trying to get it all under my fingers, okay, but that's how flat it can go. And then it will pretty much come back to life when you get it out the other side, because it's got all that education again in its folds, so it's going to come back to life a little bit. And that completes that card.
Isn't that absolutely phenomenal? So that's using the stamps to create your own corners, but then using the stamps and using the dies to actually create that focal point as well when it comes to the centre of that card. Remember, you can do exactly what Jamie's just done with all of these other stamping dies as well. Change the colour, it's going to look completely different. Maybe you're going to use some of the top quality papers that you're getting within the bundle as well. Jamie Rodgers, tea bag folding, full collection. You're getting the 8 dies, you're getting the 27 stamps, and you're getting the 64 sheets of the top quality pattern paper as well. £111.49 or £169.99, or platinum price comes down to £89.19 or £135.99. So hopefully by just speaking to Jamie there about the postage for you guys stateside, for those that are a little bit on the fence because of the depth, hopefully that's helped and you've seen what Jamie just showed you there, and it does go completely flat. So there you go. Right, let's have a look at a few of the items that Jamie was using earlier on in the show, certainly when it comes to his first demonstration. We have got the Jamie Rodgers. This one is the Pixie Sparkles. This is where you're getting 6 in the set, and I always love our black and white boards. Jamie comes along and does these ones here. These are fab. And that's just the board itself. I'm not even talking about the Pixie Sparkles here. So we have got the 6 in total, £22.95 or $35.10. You're saving 10%, but you're getting all 6 of them. These are going to last you so long that you're going to be able to use them for your backgrounds, to then cut into them if you want to. You could see that Jamie was doing earlier on when it comes to backgrounds and the tea bag folding. But let's go through them all individually, and what I'll do is I'll start to tip the board as well, so we can start to get some of that sparkle when it comes to the sets. So we're going to have a look at the Into the Blues first of all here, not just blues. Look at this one here. So we're going to have a look at this one. So let's just start to tilt it in a few different angles. We can see, let's go like that. We've got George on the cameras today. That's a zoom. That's a zoom and a half. That one there, into your blues. Not just your blues. At first you think it might be, but then as soon, there we go, we'll go a bit back. There, look at that. Look at that, between the studio lights and George's camera work, that shows you into the blues indeed. But look, you've got lots of different shades within this one here as well. Very much kind of, it's got a tinge of the, what's that cold place? My geography. Actually, it does. It's got a feel of that Aurora Borealis, Georgina. Yeah, it does. On that one there. But that is your Into the Blues. Then when we move on to the next one, which you're getting included within the full set of 6, we're going to then still be sticking with the Pixie Sparkles. This one is Gilded Plum. There you go on that one there. So this one here being the Gilded Plum. So if I tilt that back again, look at that. Look at that gold just bursting through there. Set it forward. First of all, beautiful array within that one there. It's as if kind of like a volcano erupting. But as soon as you hit back, look at that one there. It's got to look to me anyway as sparkles of Gildan Flakes in there. Tiny little dots of the Gildan Flakes. But it is in fact the Pixie Sparkles there. So that is your Gilded Plum. Then we're going to go into the third one within the set as well, which you're getting included. So moving on to the next one here, being the Sunburst there. So we've got your Sunburst. This one here is exactly as it says in the tin there, Sunburst there. So you've got that. But actually, if anything, there we go. I would say that's more a volcano erupting within that one there. So that one being your Pixie Sparkle Sunburst. Then if we continue into the next one, this one being Sunset Glow. This has got a mix of different colours. So if you love your variety of colours, your variety of backgrounds, you're going to be able to use this one here. Very much like Candy Floss or Cotton Candy, that one there for sure. Really, really beautiful colours. If I tilt it back that way, there we go. We've got the pink coming through within that one here. So that is your Sunset Glow. And then what you've also got coming up at the last one that I absolutely love, and as Jamie was saying, you know, probably shouldn't have favourites. You guys that watch us on a daily basis know I love my mints, my teals, my duck egg blues, all of those colours. I love the peppermint twist. Also, just a big shout out there to George from you guys in the comments saying incredible camera work. Let's catch it as we go back there. We've got the gold there. Jamie, is this one maybe a little bit more subtler, is it? Or is it just the way that I'm tilting it?
It's down to how much powder you put on.
Okay.
To be honest, you really can vary them depending on how much and how intense you want them to be. Also, how much water, even down to the undertones of the card. So all of these are done on white card.
Right.
But there's no reason why you can't do them on any colour card or weight of card or type of card you want.
That's good to
really
know.
As long as it's porous, as long as it's absorbent,
Yeah.
you should be absolutely fine.
Fabulous. So that would be your peppermint twist, and then we're going to go into our last, but by no means least, Heavenly Hues. Whoever named these, did you name them?
We all get a bit of a helping hand with this one. Yeah, as a whole group, all of us demonstrators, all of the office staff, we all get sort of the emails of these are the colours we've chose, help us out here.
Yeah.
And yeah, some of them are mine, some of them are the rest of the teams, but we all help with everything from the ALS Misters to our own individual products. We're all there, every product we do. We have so many. It's like our polishes, I think we're up to something like 140 different colours of polish. So when you start looking at names, it does get tricky. Even in the Pixie Sparkles range, there's now 26 colours of them. So
no way, that
you do sort of get a bit tongue-tied when it comes to all the names.
Yeah, you should see what some of the team call our products across in product development. A bit of a tongue twister sometimes, yeah. So that one there being the Heavenly Hues within that one. So absolutely beautiful. And if anything, you know, when it comes to any collection with individual names, this is absolutely bang on the money when it comes to all six and their names for each individual Pixie Sparkle. That being individual names, but what you are getting is all six of them within that collection there. £22.95 or $35.10. So you've got your 10% for everyone on that today's price. However, even if you are Club Inspire, that comes down to £18.36 or $28.08 as well. Think of the backgrounds, think of the die cuts, think of the things that you're going to be making when it comes to these ones. Then what we're going to do is let's have a look at the air spritzers that Jamie was using earlier on. So these ones here are all individual. So we do have a choice of 5 of them. So here's their fantastic boards once again. So Jamie was showing you earlier on how fab these are and how these don't clog because of the chamber within the middle here. But this is where each of these ones are individually, so it's not in a set. You can have a look at all 5 that I'm showing you and you can choose which one or which ones you wish to pop into your basket. So each of these that I'm showing you individually are £5.50 or $8.99 or $4.40 or $7.19 individually as well. But let's see what you could be choosing from. And these ones are the Airless Misters and this one being the Purple Spell. So let's go in and then I'm going to tilt back again so we can get that Purple Spell. So we're going to tilt it back. So they're not as sparkly as the Pixie Powders, but we do get that burst of colour. This one here. Bit more, so it's a bit more of a mottled. So instead of me trying to explain it in the best way, what's the best way to explain these ones, Jamie?
So the first 4, these are just like a dye ink to them. So they're, as you say, mottled is a lovely way to describe them. The last one is your icy pink one. This is the one that has the pearlescent mica in them.
Fab.
So that's the one that's going to give you that little bit of a glisten and a shimmer, similar to the Pixie Sparkles, but nowhere near as intense. So these are a good background or a good way to activate your Pixie Sparkles.
Excellent, thanks for that, Jamie.
It's all right.
Right, so we can carry on through the next one as well. You might want to pop into your basket as these ones are individual. This one being the Bermuda Bay, which, no surprise, one of my favourites on that one here. So really nice if you want to create your backgrounds, and of course you can do is what Jamie was just explaining a moment ago. So you might want to go for that one, or you might want to go for a French lilac here. So we're going to see that one just in a moment. The details for the French lilac is on the screen. However, these are on our website on Shop the Day, so you just need to go into there to search, although you could put the code at the top of the screen if you so wish. But French lilac within this one here, so you might want to go for that one, or if you just want to try them out, that might be the one that you want to try out. However, you might want to go really bright, really vibrant with our next one. Our next one being there we go, we've got green galore within this one here. So you've got that awesome brightness of the green here, or as Georgina said, it reminds her of Shrek green, which, yeah, I could see that actually. Yeah, you could do. So really nice for maybe the backgrounds where you're doing your foliage and your flowers, or maybe you want to cut your foliage out of the cardstock that you've then used your air misters on. That's up to you. But the details for your green galore is on your screen right now. And then we can go into the final option here you might want to go for that Jamie was explaining a moment ago. This one being the icy pink. So if I start to tilt that one back, we'll start to catch it off the studio light. So we've got that one. So you can kind of see it coming through within your screen here, but it is all about the pink tones. You've got that icy tones within it, hence why it's called Icy Pinks. Really nice one for straight off the bat, of course. Maybe you're wanting to have that icy pink look when it comes to your baby girl cards if you wanted to. That option is up to you. But then start to use the airless mister onto your cardstock. Maybe you want to then use them through your embossing folders if you want to. You know, you could be doing that as well. What I would say as well, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, please do make sure that you check out Jamie's social media pages as well as Creative Expressions themselves, as well as the other team members as well, because I know you've got such a phenomenal team across Creative Expressions, a few of which are Francois, a friend of mine as well. So
She's lovely.
Hopefully see her again maybe one day soon. But yeah, check out all their social media for lots of ideas and inspiration as well. What else are you going to be doing for us today, Jamie?
Okay, so this is the card that we're going to do next. This is going to be creating our butterflies, and this one's using the Octagon die. So I'm going to sneak in a few other bits, to be honest. I'm a bit naughty for this one, but hopefully you'll appreciate it. So the actual card, we're going to stamp onto some paper. So this time on the actual card I used our red. This time we're going to go for one of the pinks out of the paper pads.
Okay.
So we haven't overly discussed the paper packs, but what I wanted to highlight was we have one patterned pack that gives you all different tones with all different patterns on them. And then in the other packet, we just have matching subtle tones. So for this one, we're going to go for just the plain paper, and we're going to use that one in our stamp press. And we're going to use our butterfly stamp from the Octagons. We're going to pop that down. And we're going to use our magnet style with this one in place. And we're going to bring back in our ink. Again, I'm going to use some VersaFine Clair, but you can use whichever ink you wish to be using. We're going to be colouring with just a couple of gel pens to add our details for this one. So it doesn't have to be a waterproof ink necessarily, or an alcohol-proof ink. And once again, we have our stamped image, which is perfect just as it is. Or we could, of course, die cut it out and use it for our folding. So I'm not going to hold us up by cutting that one or colouring it, because you've seen me do that a couple of times. We're going to pop this to one side, and I'm going to bring one in that I've already done. And I've taken this already to the point where we've tucked in the north, the south, the east, the west, that part of it. And we're back to having our two pieces. This time, once again, what we're going to do is we're going to go for our top layers, and we're just going to fold back our top layer so we've got more of a 3D effect like we did on the first demo. And we're going to do that on both sides so that these parts are going to stay up nicely in the air for us. And we're going to do that for two pieces, and we're going to come back to them in a second.
Okay.
We're then going to go on to our card. Now, I've jumped ahead a bit here, and I've used some gold mirror card, I've used a black panel, and I'm going to sneak in another die here from Sue Wilson, which I'm just going to add some glue onto, and we're going to pop this on. I believe you had this on not that long ago when you had some of Sue's slim lines on, but it's more to show you a die-on-die effect, just to give you quite a subtle background.
Yeah.
I don't know how well you're going to see that on screen. It is quite dark and matte, black on black, but it's quite subtle and posh was what I was after. We're then going to bring back our two butterflies. We're going to start building these up. So we're going to bring in a piece of foam, which we already have, and we're going to pop that one about here.
Do you know what they remind me of as well, Jamie, when I was at school? Remember those like things you used to make out of paper, and you used to, will he go out with me? Will she go out with me? Do you know?
I don't know what they're called, but I'm with you 100%. I know what you mean, but I can't remember the name.
I can't remember what they're called, yeah.
So for our butterfly, instead of having them quite distant, which they would be at this stage, we're going to go in and we're going to trim off the edge. So we're just going to take a small amount, as we can see, not a big amount at all if we compare them, literally just a few mil off of the tip.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to take off the same on this one.
Paper fortune teller, apparently.
Oh, is that what they were called, is it? Ah. And we're going to bring that in, and we're going to pop our first one on one half of the foam tape, and we're going to pop the other one matting up to it on the other side of the foam tape. And then I've been a bit naughty again. I've already gone ahead and I've built up a butterfly body, which is one of Sue Wilson's dies. It's called Butterfly Delights, but to be honest with you, if you've got a already existing butterfly, you could probably trim off the wings and use that part of it.
We've got a couple from our Gemini mini ranges,
exactly.
so you'll be able to use them.
Anything along them lines would be absolutely fine. It's just having the body and the antennae is the bit we're after. We're then going to bring in another one, which I've already built, and we're going to pop that on, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring in our third one, and we're going to pop that up the top, and we're going to hope that we have left enough room for our word, which I think we have. We can then add this in just across here, just to tie in them gold elements from the bodies, the backgrounds and the pearls. So really, really quick and simple, not a complicated one to do at all, and could be done in any colours, any styles, whatever you wish.
Jamie, that is absolutely beautiful. How fab
you.
is that? And I know obviously you had these ones pre-made, but that could be you sitting on the sofa at night time.
The whole folding bit, that is the bit. You could sit at home and fold these all night long and then build your medallions, your Christmas trees or your butterflies whenever you're ready. Because you will, I know I've done hundreds now, but you just sit there and you do it automatically without really thinking about it. So yeah, very good fun. You'll love them.
Awesome, thank you so much for that one. So I'll go over the details just in a moment. However, Jamie will be back in our last show of the day on Crafters TV, that being launch day. So Jamie will be during the show. Our show kicks off at 6 o'clock here in the UK, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. So do make sure to come back and you'll see that full hour at least when it comes to Jamie and whatever else we've got remaining as well. Jamie, thanks again, and we will see you later on.
Lovely.
Rightio, here we go, let's have a look. So if you do want to get your hands on this collection here, this one being the Jamie Rodgers tea bag folding collection, this one being your 8 dies, 27 stamps and 64 sheets of that top quality papers as well from Creative Expressions. This one being £111.49, £169.99, really, really good saving off the bat as well for something that's new today on Crafters TV. But platinum price comes down to £89.19 or £135.99. It is on our website, all part of Shop the Day. No longer is it Shop the Show. Go into Shop the Day. Everything that you've seen throughout today is all in that one section as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have another look at the comments and we'll read some more out because they've been coming in thick and fast. But you may have heard me refer to Club Inspire. Maybe you're just watching because of Jamie and Creative Expressions. You're like, Club Inspire, I want a little bit of that discount. The best person to explain all about it is the boss herself. Here's Sarah to tell you all about Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Achieve crisp, precise, and perfect die cutting results every time with the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim. The idea behind the plastic shim is that it creates a thicker plate combination, offering an even more precise die cutting result with each pass. Simply pop a plastic shim between your cutting plates and then roll through your Gemini die cutting machine and voila! An amazing precise cut every time. Plastic shims work really well with detailed or thin metal dies. So if intricate cutting is your thing, then the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim is your best friend.
Quick Buy, get yours now.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
There you go. And that's everything that you need to know about Club Inspire. Absolutely free, and the benefits just keep rolling in. Now, let's have a look once again at our launch day collection today on Crafters TV. This is our Crafters Companion Create a Card Ribbon Thread and Die collection. Now this one where you're going to be getting 12 elements in total. Each pack you've got 2 dies. Today's price being £61.99 or $71.75. So straight off the bat today you're going to be getting that really, really good 20% discount straight away. However, Platinum price comes down to £49.59 or $57.40. But if you've just seen the Club Inspire there and you put 2 and 2 together, being 20% off my first order, that means you're also going to get it for the Platinum price as well. So even something that is brand spanking new today on Crafters TV, you still get that benefit of 20% off your first order when it comes to your Club Inspire. Just to say as well, very, very quickly, if you do join, that goes for our shows such as Warehouse Clearance, Cart Loads, Craft Vaults, these sorts of shows that you see popping up. Cart Load we have every single week on a Thursday. The other two pop up every now and again as well. You get your Club Inspire on everything. So I just want to point that one out. But here we go. Let's have a look at the Create a Card, this one being the collection. This is all about the ribbon, thread and dies. So Georgina, am I going to show the boards, am I? Or we're going straight to Debbie? Let's do that. Yeah. Yes, let's do that. Let's say hi to Debbie. Maybe you didn't see the first half of the show, then she's joining us again. So yeah, we're just going straight flow into another demonstration there. There you go. Hi, Debbie.
Hi. Oh, do you know, I've had a nice cuppa out, not that I'm rubbing it in, Craig, but I've had a nice cuppa out there. Nice little chit-chat with me granddaughter, because it's been a parents' evening tonight. I've had a nice little bit of a break, but I were absolutely floored by his demonstrations. Can I just say, oh my God, he's got talent oozing out of every single orifice of his body. It's just absolutely fabulous. It's been a great show up to now. And what is great is that we're coming back with our launch day, which is a brilliant, absolutely fabulous, brand new Create a Card ribbon threading dies. And these are absolutely fabulous, which our Craig will tell you a little bit more about now.
Absolutely, we're going to go through them all as well. Once we go back to Debbie and we're going into the demonstration, be reading out your comments as well. But just exactly what Debbie was saying when it comes to Jamie as well. Although I'm on this side here, I was determined not to say a lot of the information on the side, because I know you guys, as much as me, just wanted to see exactly what Jamie was doing. So he will be back later on in the day as well. But here we go. Let's have a look at these ones here. These are our boards where we're going to be showing you what you're going to be getting. So you do get your 6 die sets. You do get 12 dies in total. You've got the detail, ribbon, thread and die, and the outline die. So you've got this one being the charming lace. What we're also going to be giving you is your bold florals here. So in the start of launch day, Debbie was showing you a few different ways in which you could be using them. For instance, we've got the Baroque swirls here. But what you could still be doing is using them on their foil press, spritz through them. Maybe you want to use some of the airless spritzers that Jamie was showing you, maybe the pixie powders Jamie was showing you. Lovely detailed backgrounds that you could be cutting into if you want to use them. Use the dies on their own. That one being your diagonal lace and also your elaborate lace here. So within these ones you could be then doing your ribbon threading vertically, horizontally, diagonally, but then what you can do is use them as a key feature onto your finished projects. Because you've got that outer die, you can then cut in, you can cut out with the die as well. But that one there, see how? Using a wider ribbon, but then kind of just scrunching it up slightly because of the depth of the shape that you've got within these dies. But it could be your ribbon, it could be your twine, it could be things such as your raffias if you want to. Why not bunch up a lot of that gold thread or twine that you got with Sarah's Twas the Night Before Christmas collection? Or in actual fact, that will actually thread through some of the smaller aperture bits. You can be doing so many different looks, so many different styles and ribbons, for instance, organza, gross grain, it could be your satins that I love, all these different ways you could be using them. So smaller cards, larger cards, all entirely up to you, including your concepts. You can be doing these ones with as well. But what we can do now that we've gone over it and we've showed you some finished samples, let's see what Debbie's got planned within our next demonstration when it comes to our launch day collection. Debbie.
So we call them create a card, but you can do anything with them. And I'm going to create a lovely gift box with this one. Because it comes in two panels, two parts, it means that you've got that, I mean, the first two demos I did, cut out the panels and put them onto a card front. However, we've got the two split features of this, which means you've got a decorative element, which is the bit that cuts directly in, because there's no outside cutting edge to this one. When you add the frame, that is when it becomes a cut-out panel. So for this particular demo, I'm only concentrating on the decorative frame, and I am going to be using the Charming Lace. Now, again, in the Charming Lace one, Craig, again, on all of the packaging, 3 different ways that you can use these multiple ribbon threaded combinations. This is just giving you a couple of the ideas. So you could have your crisscrosses, a straight edge, a crisscross, just the crisscross on its own, or just the straight edge on its own. Absolutely fabulous. Little bit of inspiration on the front of your sheet there. And I like the mix of this one because it's a bit of the grosgrain ribbon with some satin ribbon. So it's a really nice one to take some inspiration from. Now, I've created myself a box, and I started off life being, if I remember rightly, it was 8.5 by 10.5 inches. Both the pieces started the life that way. Cut a 2-inch panel, scored a 2-inch panel all the way around. So on the box base, which is that side of the board, 2 inches, and on the box lid, 2 inches as well. Although you're probably thinking, that's not 2 inches, Debbie. It's where I start. Do you know when you want to make a box with a deeper bottom to the lid? Yeah. This is how I do it. Okay. So I started off with both pieces at the same size, but all I did was, once I'd done it on the box lid side, was I took off.
Makes total sense, yeah.
Just took half an inch off, or an inch, it depends on the size, but I wanted my box lid to be smaller than my base, and that's how I do it. I don't know if there's an easier way of doing it.
Yeah,
that's
that
just
way.
The way that I did it, because it makes more sense to me. However, this is my box lid, already pre-scored and pre-ready. So what I'm going to do now is just place that beautiful design onto the top. Now, if you look at it, how I'm just took all my flaps in there so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just centralising it. So that's all I'm doing. Obviously, when you've got it by eye, it's a little bit more easier. But I am using my larger plates for this, Craig, only because of the style of the card that I've got. And if you're wondering where I got this card from, do you remember we did all the cards with the retro rainbow? And this one's from that lovely one that sold out super fast. Do you know the... Yes, that's the one, producer Georgina. What did they call it now, that one? Yes, it had and it was the lilacs. Can you remember, Craig? Because you're really good with paper pads.
I can picture it.
Yeah.
And I can picture it on my shelf at home.
Yeah.
I just can't remember what it's called.
Lilacs?
It was lilac green.
Floral and lilac? Oh, dearie me. Floral lilacs? Anyway, can I just tell you, I wish I'd got more than one pad, because I'm on my last legs with it now, and I'm like starting to feel a little bit upset because I didn't get any more. I only got the one.
We're all full for that
bigger mistake to make. Oh, look, Craig, straight at me. I mean, look how gorgeous that design is. I'll just take out the other pieces, but look, we were talking about this morning. There's lots of elements in here. I'll just push through and pick out one. But these are pieces that you could be using for decorative panels if you were to cut out. Or maybe do it like Debbie said, a different colour and then paper piece back in when you're not using your ribbon towards it. But there's loads of lovely pieces on there, little shaker elements in there as well. Really, really lovely, and a really lovely design as well. And the lovely one about this Charming Lace, which I do love, if you've noticed, we've got lace We've got swirls, we've got florals in there. So there's lots of ways, lots of different designs and lots of different, you know, styles to suit. But we're going to go in with some ribbon. Now I've gone with a dotty ribbon from my collection, obviously purple. In fact, producer Georgina, look, from my box lid side, you see, I've got that. That's the one that matched. I can't remember what it was called, Craig. It's starting to. Where is Christina Mahoney on the socials by any chance?
I wonder if Tracy or John's listening to us.
Oh, I don't know if they are. They'll know because they'll still have some.
That's it. Could show them your scraps and say, can you hunt that pad? They're bound to have bits left over.
So what I'm going to do now is start to thread. So I've popped it up in the first element. So I'm going to go in with this lovely straight edge design. I'm going to go in with what did we say? Horizontal or vertical? I suppose it depends where you're putting it, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
so
this is going straight.
Vertical.
Straight through there.
Yeah, so that's vertical.
I suppose if you turn it the other way.
It's going.
I can see it irritating producer Georgina. She's just come to her.
No.
It's just come to her. What did you call it again, producer Georgina? Sage and purple florals. Yes, it did. You know, you're not making it up, producer Georgina, you're not. But, I mean, any card. Come on.
Beautiful.
How gorgeous does that look?
Beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. Any cardstock's going to work with this. Honestly, it's just beautiful. But I mean, I'm feeling a little bit corporate colours today, Craig. It's just beautiful.
It is.
Absolutely beautiful. But again, all I'm doing is I'm taping, and again, we can use red liner tape, which I have done on my original one, what I've got all prepped here. But I'm just going to show you a super quick way of doing that, is just to literally add this on. Now, I'm going to show you as well the crisscross, because I absolutely love this one. So I'm going to take a thinner ribbon this time, and it's another matching one. I've cut it on the side. I've not put any tape around this one because I'm going to show you. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just chop a little bit off, and then we'll show you how to do that crisscross. So when you're looking at this pattern now, I'm going to go into this next section here, and you've got all these lovely scallops on the top and on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start a starting point, and if you just remember this whenever you're doing your crisscross design, you won't go far wrong. So I'm just going to push that through. Let's get that through my end there. Perhaps I should have put some... tell you when I'm at home, Craig, no problem whatsoever.
It's always the same. It's always the same.
Honestly, you make it easy for yourself. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go to the top one, but I'm missing that top one above it. I'm going to the opposite side one. Yeah, so literally, all I'm doing... Come on, Debbie. Get your ribbon through there. I was watching telly when I was doing this last night on my one that I've prepped. I love to do a bit of crafting and telly at the same time. Do you, Craig?
I have to do something.
Yeah, I've got to do something.
Have to do something.
I used to joke with my auntie because she's multi-talented and she could do the same. Now, can you see what I'm doing, Craig? I'm going back down to the bottom, but I'm missing this one and I'm going in that next one. So it's the one further on. So you miss one and go in the next design. So again, I'm going to take that across. Now, crisscross, you would probably think you crisscross straight away.
Yeah.
No. Make life easy for yourself and less hassle when you are wanting that finishing touch. If you start to try and crisscross one, it looks a little bit messy.
Okay.
So you tend to do, and this is the way that I found easiest for me, was to do almost like a hook and loop kind of effect. Can you see?
Yeah.
It's very difficult on this glass mat to see that. But again, I'm going down to the bottom, but I'm missing the one next to it, and I'm going up the other one as well. I can't think of the right words today, Craig. My words.
No, but you can see exactly what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm missing one. So again, going up to the top, I'm not going above it. I'm going to the miss one. Use one, did you say, producer Georgina? Loop one, skip one. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that one. And then all you're going to do then is continue that all the way along. What I am going to do, though, is make sure I've got enough of the ribbon. Now, when you are doing the crisscross, do you know how you can move it a little bit easier when it's on a straight?
Yeah.
A little bit more difficult with this. So make sure you've cut yourself enough ribbon so that you get that effect. So we're going to do that again. What did you call it again, producer Georgina? Loop one, skip one. I think I quite like that. Quite like that idea. I can't think of another word. Can you, Craig?
No,
so shall we go with producer Georgina's? I think it's a good one. So I'm missing one, going down in again, and it's like a lovely spiral effect when you look at it to start with. But again, just showing you the multi-different ways that you can thread ribbon. For me, that's why I absolutely love this design. Leanne and the team really have knocked this out the park, and I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. And the fact that it's under the Creator Card range as well is just absolutely fabulous. It really, really is. And again, you're like me, Craig. I like to think of different ways that you can use these.
Yeah.
I don't want a one-trick pony.
No.
I want something that will offer me versatility, and that's exactly what you're getting. Now, can you see that design, how it's gone in and out and in and out?
Yep.
So to create the loop now, to create that crisscross, we're going to go into the ones that we've missed.
Okay,
and that's all you're doing.
right.
It's exactly the same. So it's just the opposite now. So
that's what
literally,
you mean by go right to the end.
yeah, go
and
right
then
to the
come
end
back.
and then come back on it, and it makes that crisscross going absolutely fabulous. So again, I'll just do a couple more, and then I'll show you the one that I've finished, because otherwise we'll spend the rest of the show just going.
Do you know what I'm going to say, Debbie?
Yeah.
Right, and I'm not in tomorrow, but I'm back here on Thursday. Well, I might not be after I say what I'm going to say here, right?
What's that?
We've got ribbons and that on our website.
Yes, we have.
Here in the UK, go into that store that I absolutely adore, the range. Go to their crafty section. They always have like a big bucket, a big bin of reels of ribbons, different depths and that at 99p. They did the last time I was there. Check out all these places as well as our website. Check them. These are going to be brilliant for your ribbon thread and dies we've got today.
And can you see how gorgeous that looks?
Look how well that looks.
So you just need to continue that all the way along. Make sure you've got enough ribbon cut. But the effect that you get is a straight, a crisscross, a straight, a crisscross, a straight. So all I've done is alternated the ribbons, and that's how I've created that. And I quite like that idea. I think it looks absolutely fabulous. I'll leave that. You're going to see now in a minute, Craig. Red line it is. It was absolutely the best one to do, but I want to cover it up. So I've taken another tone of purple, because I'm going to sit that behind the back and it just lifts it a little bit more. So again, I'm just going to take my red liner tape off. If you were to do a shaker card, again, all you would need to do, it would be acetate this time, and then your foam on a roll and pop your shakers behind there. So you could do that on your gift boxes as well. But I just wanted to neaten the inside of my box up a little bit. So I'm just going to pop that down like so, and it gives it a nice little contrasting purple in the background as well. So I'll just pop me side panels on there, Craig.
No problem.
So again, I'll just
what I'll do is, if it's all right with you, Debbie, if I read a few comments coming out, so much love coming in for what you've been doing. So much love for Jamie, of course.
Of course.
But we've got, right, let's go back to where I was. So, 4 Holidays on YouTube is saying, I see me buying lots of ribbon. I have a ton, of course, but these new dyes mean new ribbon. Absolutely, I would say that.
They're going to breathe life into your ribbons, aren't they?
They will.
Sometimes we just use ribbons for balls.
You don't know what to do,
They're going to breathe life into your ribbon box.
Absolutely, and then don't forget, if you've got like simple colours of ribbon, use your classics, your tri-blends. Personally, I would use my classics in the bullet nib to then colour your ribbons, let it dry. You're going to be able to complement whatever you're going to be making there.
Your chisel. Do you mean your chisel nib?
What did I say?
Bullet.
Yes, chisel nib. Yeah, you could use your bullet. You're going to be there for a wee while though. Use your chisel nib when it comes to your classics.
Yeah, you get a lot more down, don't you, Craig, when you do that. But that's a fantastic top tip there. Absolutely fantastic top tip.
Sherry on Facebook is actually saying purple and sage. A few of you have been helping us out when it comes to the name of that paper pad. Mo Craft saying, I love Creator Cards. I'm so glad they made these ribbon threading ones. Great idea. Vicky on Butterfield is saying on YouTube, love the ribbon thread and dies. These are incredible. Marcia is saying, oh, Debbie looks lovely. We've got, thank you. Oh, Karen Ann, who was that there? Karen, who was the other one? There was 2 there. Thank you for your lovely comment with me presenting as well. Debbie was fab as well this morning, wasn't she? And,
she was, yeah.
Corinne the other day when I was on with her. So it's nice that we get to mix it up a little bit as well. Joy, it was you that was saying that as well. Debbie, just so much love for, well, one, yourself, as always, and what you've been making as well throughout today's show. So love these ones.
Thank you very much. Well, do you know what? It's nice to get creative and literally have a play with things when you get them home, and literally just have a lot of fun. So that is my box lid with box base, and that gives me that's when I talked about taking off that, whether it be half an inch, quarter of an inch or an inch, to create that depth with your box. That's how I work it out. But of course, the beauty of this is those fabulous, absolutely fabulous ribbons. And all I've done again, Craig, is I've used my nesting die, tell what I had to hand, can't you? My nesting, because that's all I've used today, was my nesting dies and a stamp set that I've got. And I think, where can I put, let me have a think. Oh, I'm like this now. This is me. I am exactly this. Oh, I just don't know. I think I'll go up there and have it up at the top. But just to show you, and I could have finished off with a little ribbon at the bottom if I wanted to. But you know what? It's a nice little
Debbie,
gift box.
that's beautiful.
And just showing you again how you can use those beautiful ribbons. I just used 2 different ones that were in my stash. Thank you, Chris. Just again, my lovely friend, for feeding me ribbons there. But absolutely beautiful dies, beautiful intricate designs, from your laces to your florals to your swirls. I love these. And you can be making not just cards, but you could be making boxes, anything you want. Breathe some life into your ribbons that you've probably stuck in that drawer and in that box and are not using, apart from making little bows, but you're going to be able to use them and get some really lovely different combinations with the fabulous dies that we have in these ribbon threading dies, which are from our Creator Card range.
They're absolutely phenomenal, and that finished sample that Debbie's just done there absolutely shows how well that these use in whatever ways you want to use them. Just quickly, Gloria on Facebook saying, "Hi Debbie and Craig, I have a lot of yarn. I wanted to know if that would work instead of the ribbon." Yeah. Absolutely, go for it. As long as it feeds through in, then yeah, go for it. Have a creative play, see what you could be using as well. It doesn't just have to be ribbon, twine, raffia, strips of cardstock paper, anything like that. Absolutely, you can do it for sure. So that was our launch day collection that Debbie was just using there. But before we come, gosh, we're coming to the end of the show already, which is 3 hours flying, don't they? We've got to do demo of the show. So what we can then be doing is let's kickstart. Let's have a look at what Debbie has been making within launch day show today.
Well,
the ribbon thread and dies.
We've got launch party coming up later, Craig. So I did have lots more demos planned. So if we have a nice word with producer Georgina, we might come back and do some later on as well. Right. So number one. So I've already done 3. So number 1 was our simplistic one going on that diagonal range. Number 2 was our reversed easel. With the multi-ways that you can use ribbon, and I just used some organza there. So that's number 2. And then finally, number 3, our lovely purple box there, using a straight edge ribbon and then a crisscross design as well. So that's 1, 2 or 3. And then over to you, Craig, for Jamie.
Absolutely. I know those pesky gremlins earlier on that shortened our show, eh? But here we go. So now we're going to be having a look at, this one was the first one that Jamie done, so this one number 4. Or you might want to go for number 5, this one here. Or you might want to go for number 6, this one here. So 1, 2, 3 being Debbie, 4, 5, 6 being Jamie's, and Jamie's tea bag folding. Let's just get that to stand up, just here. There we go. The choice is yours, so you've got a couple of minutes to get your votes in, and lovely Rachel will get the votes together and let us know who's the winner of demo of the show. Okay, let's have a look at, so maybe you want to pop in our newly launched issue number 3 of our Crafters Inspiration Global magazine. So this is how it looks. Debbie's away to have a flick through it in a moment to let you see what you could be getting inside it. This one being $12.99 or $19.95, even though it's a magazine and it's just launched. £10.39 platinum, $15.96 as well. You've got 68 projects that you could be following along with, and with this one here, it is called our Global magazine because it launches to the world at the exact same time, so no longer do you guys stateside have to wait and catch up with us here in the UK. But let's go across to Debbie. Debbie's got the magazine in the box where we can have a look and see exactly what you're going to be getting.
Yeah, and like I said before, Craig, I've loved our Crafters Inspiration magazines for a long time. We've been running from quite a few years now. Yeah. But we had a relaunch. We had a global relaunch rather than, because before we had people getting them at different times. What we've done now is across the board, everywhere gets it at the same time, which is why it's our global one, and it's across the world as well. But absolutely fabulous. This is issue number 3, so it's the latest in there. And you've got 68 different projects in here that you can copy if you wish to do so, with step-by-step instruction, everything you need, all your tools that you need as well, and with lots of lovely things for inspiration, including our craft kit that comes in here. So I'll open it up. I love the new box design. Let me just tell you,
cool,
it's so handy
it?
to have it like this as well. It sits beautifully on your shelves. But first things first, we'll talk about that craft kit, because the craft kit comes with this fabulous decorative border trio. So 3 different borders there, one decorative, and then one gives you a stitched edge, and one gives you, actually, you could run some ribbon through there, through that one.
Couldn't you?
Absolutely beautiful. From the Enchanted Dreams collection, but not, I repeat, not anything that you've already seen in the Enchanted Dreams. It's exclusive to this magazine. So you've got that one there. You have a fabulous stencil. So you've got this gorgeous butterfly stencil. You've got that lovely gradient of butterflies, texture paste, inks, whatever it is that you want to pop through there. We've got a fabulous set of stamps, one of the cutest stamps, especially that bee, I love it. But a really beautiful one to create some nice scenes. You've also then got a topper sheet that you just simply, literally release from its pips that are in the sheet, no die cutting involved. And then all the gorgeous papers in A4 size, beautiful quality, uncoated, so it means you can stamp onto them directly. And once they've gone, there is downloadable elements in there, because you simply download your print papers and print them time and time again, as and when you need to use them, which I just think is absolutely fabulous. And then, of course, the P-East. Oh, wait a minute, get this right. What's it called? Peace.
You caught me off guard there,
I'm
Debbie.
sorry, trying to repeat what she's just said there, Amir, because I started with it and then realised, oh my God, that wasn't going to sound right. Pièce de Résistance, is that what you say? Pièce de Résistance is this gorgeous magazine. Magazine jam-packed full of everything, with tips from the experts in the field all over. We've got some fabulous experts. Soft crafts is a little section in here as well. A reader's make. You could be starring in our magazine next. Lovely techniques, tips, exactly everything you need. Literally step-by-step instruction, skill level instruction. Everything you need to create this project is all here in that little piece. But that's 68 of them in this magazine alone, which is just phenomenal. Beginner's guide, love the beginner's guide, nice little one about your Scoremaster, your water reactive ink pads and patchwork dies. Some fabulous design team members, people that are top of their field in crafting, with everything that you need. My words were going all wrong then. Crafting that you need in this fabulous magazine, with that fabulous kit. And then the download section that you can print time and time again once they've gone. Just means for me, it's a fantastic magazine. It is all thriller, no filler, nothing in there, no adverts, no nothing. It's all about crafters' inspiration, and I, for one, love it.
I'm the same as you. Absolutely adore the magazine as well. I know you guys have already been adoring it as well. So we're just waiting to have a look at the winner of the demo of the show. Tell you what, let's just do that now. Let's go it now, seeing that Rachel's got the winner through already. So she's put, it was hard counting up all of your votes, but it is it Jamie or is it Debbie? I can tell you, it's Debbie.
Ooh.
And 1, 2, or 3. Number 3, Debbie.
Oh, the box.
Number 3, the box. I'm not surprised.
Oh, thank you very much, guys. But is it? I mean, I think it's the colours, but I think it is the fabulous ribbon threading dies. I think that's what's doing it today.
Absolutely.
So there, thank you very much, my lovely little box. We'll pop that towards later on.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Debbie, for that one as well. Make sure, as well as throughout these shows as well, go across to all of our social medias. It's our name and the surname, for instance, Debby Robinson CC. Facebook, Instagram as well. We're all the same. You'll see lots of things as well. But what I don't want you to do is go far. I want you to just hang about for an hour, go and get a cup of tea, go and have your lunch or your tea, depending where you are. And I want you to come back. Once again, you're going to join us two, and you're also going to see Jamie as well, where we're going to have a party on this Tuesday evening, afternoon or morning, where we're going to be having a look at those phenomenal, how these are still in stock, Animals with Attitude. Myself and Corinne launched these on Friday. These flew out. We're going to be having a look at them. Grande Edgeables. We're going to look at tri-blends. We've got some, we've got the cardstock if you want. We've got, Knitwit. Oh my gosh, that's going to be coming up as well. Do you know what? We're just going to do exactly what we've done here between myself and Debbie and Jamie. We're going to have some fun. We're going to get partying when it comes to the full show. We're going to be back in an hour's time, 6 p.m, 1 p.m, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you then. Bye.